Okay, so let's go. You can also get a report. So the report will tell you what components are in each sheet, okay? And you can print this out or analyze that to your liking. Okay, so this nest looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and go to the Commit Nest tab. Okay, for the committing parameters, if, for example, your parts, all of your parts were not on the XY plane, let's say some were above the XY plane, okay, and you had a lot of parts, and you don't really know which ones are slightly above or which ones are actually on it, on the XY plane, it'll force all of them down, project them all down to the XY plane of the resulting sheet, okay? And then nest and sheet geometry grouping, you can tell it how you want the geometry in each sheet to be processed. You can create a separate layer for each sheet, or you can create a separate group. We're going to create a layer, so it's going to create new layers. It's going to put each sheet on a separate layer. And if you recall from our parameters, we had stacked set. So it's going, all the sheet components are going to be laying on top of each other, each one on a different layer. So we don't have to, when we go to machine it, our work zeros can always be in the same location. They don't have to, if you recall in the production drawing from Rhodes Yacht Design, they had them nested along the x-axis, and they had a work zero at each lower left corner. If you just stack them, you don't have to do that. You can have one work zero at one location and just turn your sheets on and off when you go to machine them. Okay, so let's go to the commit nest again. So also you can export the sheets to separate files instead of just having separate geometry on a separate layer. You can actually output them. It'll create separate files for you. So we're not going to do that though. And then here's a good option here. If you did have your sheets lined up along the X, along the Y, you can force them all to go to Z0. So it'll just move all of the sheets to Z0. And you can also export the sheets as geometry. So we're just going to go and we're going to commit the nest. We're going to use these parameters here. We're going to create a separate layer for each sheet. We're going to add the remnants. As I mentioned before, it calculated 3 remnant areas. So we're going to tell it to take those remnants and add them back to the sheets list. Okay. So let's go with a separate layer for each. Let's go ahead and commit the nest. Now this could take a little time, and this one it's pretty fast. So you'll see that we have all of our geometry on top of each other. Let's look at the layers. So let's go ahead and let's turn all these layers off and look at them one at a time. Let's turn these off. So it created a layer for each sheet, and it created a layer for each remnant. So we had 3 remnants. So let's look at the first sheet. Not quite sure they're doing overlay.
Yeah, one of the sheets is the active one.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
okay.
One of the sheets is the active one.
Yeah. That's what it is. Let's go back up here. Turn that on, turn that off, make that active. Turn that off. Okay. Thank you, Joe. So we have our first sheet here. All the geometry is laid out. We have actual geometry that we can machine. Okay. And then let's just look at the next sheet as we go along. Yeah, let's look at all the sheets. And again, this is a good mention here. You may be asking yourself why there's a lot of open area. Okay, the nesting is solely dependent on the geometry that you're nesting. Obviously, each part. So if you had parts that are a lot smaller than other parts, it would have filled them into these areas. But all of our parts are relatively large, so it can't use certain areas. Okay, so let's look at this sheet. Okay,